And Trump's speech to the Knesset should also make it very clear that he's not in charge. Donald Trump is not calling the shots in our occupied capital city of Washington, D.C. And Trump confirmed that himself. Once again, he gave a shout out to Miriam Adelson, the AIPAC head who spent $200 million collectively to get him installed as president. He openly talked about how Miriam and her now dead husband Sheldon would show up at the White House on demand and tell him what to do. Kind of like Benjamin Netanyahu. They all see this country with Donald Trump in the White House as the ultimate vehicle for advancing the Talmudic agenda worldwide and for stealing the land that's needed to fulfill the Greater Israel Project with the assistance of the United States military. George W. Bush dragged America into multiple wars in the Middle East, wars that were started by and that directly benefited Israel. And so is Donald Trump. He dragged us into a confrontation with Iran, and now he's putting American boots on the ground to enforce the Gaza ceasefire? This is an unmitigated disaster. This is going to lead, mark my words, to dead Americans and a ton of dead Palestinians. Trump's mission is to facilitate Benjamin Netanyahu building Greater Israel. And that's been obvious now for quite some time. I tried to warn you. You know, a lot of times people act like Trump being owned by Israel is something new. This isn't new, not at all. They've been throwing it up in our faces for a long time now. Actually, way back in 2019, Mark Levin declared that Donald Trump was the first Jewish American president in history. Things have gotten far, far worse. It doesn't take any brain power at all to be a noticer. And Trump's Israel trip reminded us of that as Jews compared him to religious figures. They compared Donald Trump to Cyrus the Great, the Persian king that freed the Jews. They're telling us that Donald Trump is on this earth to serve the Jew. Cyrus allowed the Jew to build the second temple, and Trump is here to usher in the third, to save the Jew from an imaginary Shoah by waging war on the Middle East.